all fish in a stream, swimming towards a vicious dream. Don't you know we're the walking dead, dead, dead? Our lives were meant to be this bleak. Somehow they got into our heads, heads, heads. We're wide awake, yet still asleep. We're the walking, we're the walking dead. Fear and hatred, dull and jaded. It's all been debated and manipulated. Nothing's ever as it seems. We're bound to believe everything they scream. Don't you know we're the walking dead, dead, dead? Our lives were meant to be this bleak. Somehow they got into our heads, heads, heads. We're wide awake, yet still asleep. We're the walking dead. We're the walking dead, dead. Oh, 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 oh. We're the walking dead. We're the walking dead, dead. Oh, 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 oh. Highly sedated, intoxicated. We're automated and overpopulated. Don't you know we're the walking dead, dead, dead? Our lives were meant to be this bleak. Somehow they got into our heads, heads, in our heads. We're wide awake, yet still asleep. We feel asleep, yeah. We're the walking dead. We're the walking dead, dead. Oh, 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 oh. We're the walking dead. We're the walking dead, dead. Oh, 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 oh. Highly sedated, intoxicated. We're automated and overpopulated. We're all fish in a stream, swimming towards a vicious dream. Don't you know we're the walking dead, dead, dead? Our lives were meant to be this bleak. Somehow they got into our heads, heads, heads. We're wide awake, yet still asleep. We're the walking fear and hatred, dull and jaded. It's all been debated and manipulated. Nothing's ever as it seems. We're bound to believe everything they scream. Don't you know we're the walking dead, dead, dead? Our lives were meant to be this bleak. Somehow they got into our heads, heads, heads. We're wide awake, yet still asleep.
Hi there. They call me the governor, and hopefully this week you can hear me right off the bat. I think you can. because I see my little bars going across. The Zoom people can hear me regardless. But welcome to another Walking Dead trivia stream. Plus, we're going to be talking about the latest episode of the abomination called Fear the Walking Dead. So welcome. I see we got a bunch of regulars in the chat. I hope everyone had a great holiday. I know some people had to work, and I'm so sorry. But, all right. Though Mrs. Eddie Munson's like loving the episodes on The Walking Dead, so I don't know. She may be like running away and after we start criticizing, because we're going to do it. So I'm Mrs. Eddie Munson. They got popcorn and blueberry lemonade soda. Yep, some people went to the camp. I did not. And Michonne is likely not going to be here tonight because she's probably still on the road coming back from the camp because she drives everywhere. It is crazy. I would not drive from Chicago to Georgia. Yeah, I don't drive from New Jersey to Georgia. I will fly. But anyway, we're going to be getting started shortly, but first let's introduce these wonderful people who are also on your screen. Ms. Kayla, say hi.
Hi, everybody. Not much to say, really, because I've been working my butt off all the time. So no gaming news here. But when I have time, I will do it. So y'all just go follow me on Twitch and subscribe to me on my YouTube channel. And yeah, we'll get back to that soon.
All right. Well, life gets in the way, as Jack can also attest.
Mm-hmm.
And Jack, I think you're muted, but you need to unmute and say hi.
Hello. Yes, life always does get in the way, doesn't it? We always find a way to beat it back. Keep on keeping on. And I'm sure with everybody else, I definitely am sharing some opinions about the episode. So I'm delighted to see what everyone else thinks about it.
Life finds a way. Finds a way to get in our way. And my lieutenant governor, though he probably doesn't really like being associated with the governor any more than Corey Payton does. Tomaj, say hi.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? Just catching up from my vacation. I finally caught up on reactions, and I'm good to go this week. Starting off fresh. I enjoyed the weekend. I hope y'all did as well. Let's get into some Walking Dead stuff.
All right. And, of course, I am the governor. Hi, everybody out there. And before we get into the trivia, you should probably want to see what you might win. Well, we got holdover prizes. We still got the poor, unloved six figures in one with Merle. Poor guy. And we still have also as an option the Walking Dead, but we also have added in another 3-pack. What you would get if you chose this prize is you get these lovely pins of the king and his queen, Ezekiel and Carol. That is one part of it. You also get a holiday ornament of Daryl Dixon's wings, so you can hang that on your tree, which is probably not up right now. I understand, because it's like end of May. The holiday we're celebrating today is not Christmas, but it can eventually go up on your tree. And throwing in, we have a nice little Walking Dead Just Party style, wristband. So I actually found an even older style one that will probably be in another prize pack when I was going through my garage. But that is the 3-pack of prizes, or of course you can get the graphic novel, or you can get Merle, who looks a little better there than he does there. There he looks, well, I did it, so I'm kind of proud, but anyway. So let's get started with some trivia. This is going to be, again, the truncated 10-question trivia, so that we can then talk about fear and, how much we either loved or hated it, or, found some parts good. Every episode has a good part somewhere in it. There's always something good in the episode, but Unfortunately, with fear, there's oftentimes a lot of bad. So we will talk.
Hey, sometimes the good is just when the episode ends.
Well, I did enjoy seeing Daniel again, so that was cool. And he doesn't seem to be like forgetting things. So
Thank God.
maybe healthy living out in the swamp. But anyway, let's get into some trivia. Explain Game Master if you want to give a quick rundown of the colors.
Yes, we will roll the multicolored die, and they are color coordinated with a cheat sheet that tells you what each color represents, and that is purple is characters, blue is episodes, pink is the dead, orange is locations, yellow is events/milestones, and green is wild card. Whatever it rolls on, I will read the corresponding question.
Which is much better than him picking out, trust me.
I beg to differ, but hey, you know what? To each their own.
That's because you got more points.
Exactly. I like winning every now and again. All right, let's roll, y'all. We are starting off with characters. I rolled purple, and the question will be easy. Who opened the prison gates in revenge for being left in a courtyard filled with walkers? Who opened the prison gates in revenge for being left in the courtyard filled with walkers?
You say this is easy?
Very easy.
Remember that?
Just need a name, not even the full government.
I don't know if we got the full government, but if we did, that's...
You would know. Trust me,
Yeah.
you would.
Read it again.
Who opened the prison gates in revenge for being left in the courtyard filled with walkers?
I don't know his name.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Well, I'm going to give y'all 10 seconds to come up with a name to write down because the chat, they got it. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's see what y'all came up with. Some prison dude, little prisoner guy, Andrew. Andrew was the answer we were looking for, y'all.
Of course, Jack would get it.
Cleo was the first to get it in the chat. So, Cleo, you are in the lead. Congratulations.
All right. Somebody really wants Merle in his 6 faces.
Cleo absolutely does not want Merle. I can tell you that much.
Well, still anyone's game. And at the 5 question mark, I will throw up an ad because I need to make some kind of money. TikTok's not helping. It's a little
All
bit.
right. I rolled pink. That is the dead. And the question will be, which wolf sacrificed himself to save Denise? Which wolf sacrificed himself to save Denise? I'm looking for a name. Looking for a name, people.
The names.
The names of these shitty little wolves. The guy
Listen,
with
these
a
are
W on
pretty-
his head.
These are
We
pretty
had this
common
one
names.
before.
Yeah, we've had this question before. I
And
think
I
it
was
was
gonna say-
worded slightly different, but
It was. It was
Question.
about a different situation involving the character, but
I don't remember. His
I
name.
know 100% I got it wrong that time, so I'm proud of myself because now I know I'm not going to get it wrong.
Wait,
But
I
watch
think
me get it wrong.
It's not.
damn, I don't know these names. Count me out this week. That's okay. The next one probably won't be a name one. Probably.
See, but now that
We
you
can
said
hope.
that, it's going to be.
It's going to be all names.
That's how it always is.
I think I
Something
think I
about the one week
remember.
that was all episodes.
Hold them up. Let's see what y'all got.
I think
The
it-
leader guy, Owen. Owen. The correct answer is Owen indeed.
Oh, good. Because I started to remember. I thought he had the same name as a Star Wars character, who's an uncle.
Looks like Cleo
Yep.
is taking a strong lead. So, Cleo, you are still in the lead with 2 points.
Woohoo.
No, Cleo.
When I hear the name Cleo, I think of Ms. Cleo like the psychic, and so if this Cleo is psychic, that could be why. Tuned into her palace.
Green, and that is wild card. Let's see, could be anything.
Is the definition of wild card? Yes.
Oh, this one's super easy. Everybody gonna get this one. How many bullet fragments did Herschel count in Carl's wound? It was multiple choice. Don't worry.
Oh, come on.
Is it 2, 6, or 9? I'll read the question again. How many bullet fragments did Herschel count up in Carl's wound? 2, 6, or 9?
That one shouldn't have been multiple choice. It could have been very entertaining to see people tripped up on it because there's reasons why people would have been tripped up on it. And I know those reasons, so it would have been very entertaining to see people fall.
And that was the first one. If he moves on getting off, that was the easy one. Yeah, I remember that scene.
Y'all one doesn't want no names, so you got numbers instead.
Even better.
All right, let me give y'all 5,
Math
4,
is hard.
3, 2, 1. Hold them up. 6, 6, and okay. Yep, that again. So yes, that's correct. As for the chat, it looks like let me double check. Believe it is XO Lewis. Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I got. XO Lewis, congratulations, you're on the board.
All right. Anybody's game still. That was a third question, so if you get all 7 of the next one, you're all good.
Pink the Dead, and the question will be, who killed Ethan after he stabbed Gregory? Who killed Ethan after he stabbed Gregory? Nice and easy.
What?
I'm not
Who killed
sure.
Ethan?
It's been a long time.
Stabbed Greg. Such an iconic scene. Straight out the books.
Like I read the books.
Oh, well, shoot.
I have one of these. I haven't read it yet, so.
Well, shoot. You had two good opportunities to get this right.
Do you know how many
Show fans and
videos?
comment.
I don't react to as much as you, but I put out a shit ton of videos. So.
True. All right, we give y'all 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's see what y'all came up with.
I didn't know. I just guessed.
Mr. Grimes, Negan, Maggie. The correct answer is Rick Grimes. This was before we even
See, I was gonna say that, but I was like,
This is the one where he stands up all covered in blood and is like, what?
yeah.
Well, it's been a while since I've seen those episodes, and anything with Gregory in it. You know, the actor, again, I have no problem with. He made a great, though messy milk drinker in T2.
It looks like on my screen, North of 60 was first. So congratulations, you're on the board.
All right. I can confirm that.
All right. Ooh, Pink, the Dead again. Let's see. I think we had this one. What? Yeah, we've had this question a couple times on the show. I'm not going to ask that one again. Okay. What did the Walker Horde eat while Rick was in the tank? What did the Walker Horde eat while Rick was in the tank? Yeah, Mrs. Eddie Munson, Pink is hot tonight. All right, I'm gonna give y'all 5.
It was
I
Arby's.
know.
3,
I don't remember.
2, 1. Horse, pigs.
I don't remember. I don't remember.
The tank.
The tank. This is like episode 1.
Oh, I don't know.
Tank.
I don't know what I was thinking.
At first, when you said tank, I was like, what? He was in like an oil tank? Oh, and then I had to remember way back.
That's what I was
episode
thinking,
one.
but I had a dumb moment. I'm sorry.
The
And
space
Miss
jam.
Kayla, you're
frog
getting a
thing
negative point.
kept
That's
playing in my head.
pilot. That's the pilot. All right. That's the very first thing you watched in Walking
I
Dead
know.
history.
I know. I don't know what I was thinking.
And that poor horse had a wife and foals, and you know. Now what are they going to do without that horse?
All right. I rolled yellow.
Did
That
you
is-
see who was the person in the chat?
No, but they can wait. God damn it! Just kidding. It was Imani.
Okay,
Imani, you
because
are
that was
on.
the fifth question. I have to hit the add button, so you gotta chill for a
Shoot.
second. But we know it's going to be yellow. You said.
Yes,
All
indeed.
right, here I'm
Prepare
running
accordingly.
an ad. Don't skip it, because I need money. I got cons to go to. Got to hire a lawyer and fight Fan Expo. No, I'm not going to do that. It's not worth it.
Don't doubt yourself. It might be worth it. You never know.
I mean, if you could sue someone for being a dumbass, there would be so much more stuff in this
So many more
country.
lawsuits. So many more. Imagine if the U.S. had the laws like some of the other countries, where if you're caught like stealing or something, you just lose your hand on the spot.
Well, what do
A
you
lot
lose
less
if you're a
thievery.
dumbass and they catch you on
Your
the
head.
spot? Yeah, I mean, there won't be
Getting it out of the
repeat
gene
offenders.
pool. No, sir.
Kind of like the Darwin Awards. All right. I think the ad has passed, so Games Master, you may resume now that I've made my 13 cents.
All right. It
If
was
that.
yellow, and that is event/milestone, and the card reads: Who suggested the group trade 2 police officers for Beth and Carol? Who suggested the group trade 2 police officers for Beth and Carol? I'm gonna give y'all 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold them up.
Ah,
Tyrese, Rick, Daryl. Now we know Daryl
Yeah.
ain't about no negotiation. Daryl's about that action.
Not in
But
season
But
5.
he doesn't like those pigs.
In season 5, he was the one trying to convince Rick after the dude was beating him in the ground.
Yeah, but Daryl's first instinct is usually attack. It's never negotiate. But he did come around on it. You can talk Daryl into things
So
sometimes.
who was it? Tyrese?
The correct answer was Tyrese.
Gee,
Oh.
Jack had that right. What a fucking surprise.
I'm honestly disappointed when Jack gets them wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, more tots. Oh Lord.
Imani, it looks
Thank
like
you.
you were first for this one, so you are now tied for the lead with Cleo.
I'm winning right now. Pops, I'm good at
Stacy, you and
something.
I were thinking alike.
Trivia night.
Glenn,
I'm
same
6
thing.
for 6.
Team Daryl is, wants to.
I
He
was
had the
I was
police.
still a decent fan of him in 5. Tomaj, contrary to popular belief, I was
Daryl?
for Daryl. Yeah, I was for his decisions in 5. He was making good decisions still.
I didn't have any issues with Daryl on 5. It's 6:15.
Rick, I was starting to get worried.
Who? Rick?
Rick.
I love Murder Rick. That was my
No,
guy.
I enjoyed him, but as far as being a sound and mentally capable leader in 5, he was-
Really? I thought Rick made the most sense because a lot of the shit they got into was because people don't listen to Rick.
Well, okay, 5B Rick was what worried me.
Yeah,
5A
I
Rick,
can
I
agree
was
with that.
all for. He was still pretty logical, but then after Beth and Ty, because like that
It's
scene in
because-
Alexandria when he's like, "We'll just take this place," I'm like, no.
We were
hold
all
on.
worried at that point, yeah. But 5A,
But-
it was like the stuff kept happening because they weren't listening.
Yeah.
The Terminus came back because they didn't go back and finish them.
People
They
spotted
should've-
your tots and they're jealous, by the way, Jack.
That like double or triple switch plan with the church with the cannibals was like one of his best plans he's ever had.
Oh, that one. But when he wanted to line up on the fence and pick them off before they could even escape Terminus, that would have saved Bob. Or not Bob.
Yeah, Bob.
Well, yeah.
Well, Bob, when did Bob get bit though? Because he was bit.
Well, he got bit in the feet. But I mean, maybe the times would have been. Maybe it would have made a difference. Maybe it wouldn't have. Who knows? It could have been fate.
Yeah.
Just depends. But I get why they didn't stay. I mean, we had to go see Judith and Ty and Sasha.
Abe, Eugene, and Rosita might not have left because there wouldn't have been a threat at the church.
Yeah.
But then we might not have gone to Alexandria. So I don't know.
Well, Aaron found them, so
Yeah.
And Rick thought they were trying to poison because they were all so thirsty. And Aaron leaves a whole bunch of bottles out for him, and Eugene's like, "Fuck it, I'll do it." And Abraham's like, "No, you're too important."
Quality
if he had known that Eugene was a liar at that point, he probably would have fed him the water himself. So I believe that was question 6, right? So
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
all right. So what are the scores?
The scores are Exo Lewis 1, Imani 2, Cleo 2, and North of 61.
Wow. So
For anybody's game still.
yeah, someone can come out of nowhere and kick some ass.
They've
take
had
some
plenty
names.
of time to refresh and do what they need to do.
Yeah,
So let's
make sure you're refreshed.
Don't do it now because I'm about to read the question. I didn't roll orange. But all right. Question is orange is characters, I believe. No, I lost my cheat sheet. What was orange? Orange is orange characters?
I'm not sure. Where's your cheat sheet?
I don't know. It just
For some reason, I want to say locations, but that might
no,
be
it is
yellow.
locations. It is
Okay.
locations. I was like, wait, characters is purple.
Now
I was like, 'cause
Jack
I know we
knows
haven't
all
had
the colors
orange.
by heart. Chase, Jack, you're
We
too
haven't had
much.
orange in a while. Sorry.
I know. That's why I was like, huh. I don't
It's
know.
one I struggle with.
Which Savior's apartment does Daryl go into and eat peanut butter? Which Savior's apartment does Daryl go into and eat peanut butter? We've had this question before, so if you get it wrong, you just really are bad at paying attention. Or you aren't here. So.
I was
Yeah,
gonna say, I
but
don't
we're
remember
here,
us having
you
this
know.
one before. We probably did.
Governor has no excuse. He's been here for everyone. But everybody else, you got a 50-50 chance. Either you just don't pay attention or you aren't here. All right, I'm going to give you guys 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's see what you got.
That's your
Dwight.
question because I couldn't remember his
Question mark,
name.
Dwight.
Oh, yeah,
You can't remember Dwight?
You don't remember the
My bad.
Scarface?
One of the
Oh, no,
main
I was
characters
thinking
on
about-
here?
God,
No.
it's cheese.
You just seen
I
him
was-
last week.
Yeah, I was thinking about something else. Somebody else. Sorry.
No, it was it Big Jimmy that he killed? But it wasn't his apartment
Yeah.
he went to.
Fat Joey?
Fat Joey.
That was Joey. Oh, okay.
Yeah. But Skinny Joey was still alive, at least for a little while.
But now Skinny Joey's just Joey because there's only one Joey.
Right.
It's a goddamn tragedy.
And but then Joey could eat more, because he wouldn't have to worry about it. Doesn't have to watch his weight. So Imani,
Imani
Maybe Thanos was right.
Imani was the first one, and Imani just took the lead with 3 points.
Oh.
but someone can
Cleo,
come back and tie.
come on,
There's
Cleo.
3 more questions.
Warm up that keyboard, Cleo. Tie it up. Make it a good game. Orange again. Locations. Where did Eugene claim to have worked as a scientist? Where did Eugene claim to have worked as a scientist?
Are you going to be super sticklery about the spelling?
I'm never, stickler. I always bring
Okay.
up Miss Eddie Munson because
If it's
Yeah, I know
Diana,
the-
if it's
yeah.
Diana and Deanna, that's different. But
listen,
means
you
I
can
probably
spell
got it wrong.
Deanna a couple different ways. Y'all did Miss Eddie Munson dirty.
Shit. Smell this.
I'm gonna give y'all 10,
I got
9,
totally wrong.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's see what y'all got. Human Genome Project, not college, CDC. The correct answer is Human Genome Project.
Yeah, I figured since Jack had something different than me, his was probably the right answer.
Miss Kayla, he didn't work at at college as a scientist.
I know.
I mean,
He
you-
actually
you
worked at the
can.
college as a janitor. But, you know.
Well, like a science teacher?
Yeah. Well, or you can do like undergrad for like research. You can be a research assistant in a lab.
I don't think Eugene was doing nothing like that.
No,
But
he was a high school science teacher, I'm pretty sure. Or at least he was in the comics. I don't know for sure.
Did
But-
he ever say what he did in the show?
No, well, I mean, he claimed a lot of stuff. I don't know
I mean, he's
about
very smart.
the
Looks like
when
Amani
he was-
got it.
when he was talking to Negan after getting his jar of pickles, and he was mentioning what he had PhDs and like doctorates in. That I don't know if he was lying, but it might have been a case of like he had those, but he claimed to know more than he did.
Mhm.
See, that's the problem with characters who be lying. Like Cersei Lannister. Just lie.
Did you
just
see that
don't know
thing on
shit.
Twitter about her having like the waterboarding wine thing to that the chick from the Sparrows?
I did see.
I didn't know that until like just now.
I'm finally able to follow Game of Thrones people because I don't have to be worried about spoilers.
Well, the House of the Dragon, so I'd still be a little careful, and I'd throw some muted words and phrases up on Twitter.
well, I
just to be
muted House
safe.
of the Dragon, HOTD, all that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would mute Targaryen and Team Black and Team Green as well,
Okay.
because
I don't really.
it's just
I
talking
haven't
about family colors, and I just to be safe.
I haven't seen anything on House of the Dragon, thankfully.
Good.
All right, it looks
as far
like
as the
though it was
winner-
misspelled, Amani got it first.
Yep. So Amani has a strong lead with 4 points.
But give Tiffany a half a point for spelling it correctly. The first person to spell it correctly. Why
I'm
not?
just-
I don't think she's gonna come back from a half a point.
All right, Tiffany, 0.5 for you.
Would you have accepted HGP?
If
No.
you knew what it stood for.
What about
Well-
Human G Project? Because I was really iffy on if I was going to spell it close enough that you guys could tell what I was saying. I mean, I ended up getting the spelling.
I would have
still.
gave it to Governor.
Okay, that would have been fair. I would have
Purple.
understood.
All right,
I
question
don't know
9.
if that would have helped you or not, but. Well, what was that?
This is question 9. Let's.
Okay.
Mhm.
Only Cleo can bring us back, but let's see. After his relationship with Rosita, who did Abraham fall in love with in Alexandria? After his relationship with Rosita, who did Abraham fall in love with in Alexandria? This one's pretty difficult, y'all.
Oh, you get this one, but you don't get the tank one? Shows your priorities with Walking Dead. It's the ships, isn't it? You know where your
But
loyalties
I gotta say,
lie.
him leaving Rosita left the door open for her to like go with
It
half of Alexandria.
literally left the door open for Eugene, and he dropped the ball. He could have came with some Riz right in that.
He was so friend
These
zoned.
cookies got
no
some
way.
fight in them. But then she did tell him he could kiss her later on, and he pussied out.
No, she tested him with that.
What if
kiss.
he would have done it though? Because he was close.
He was
He was real
tempted,
close.
but
If the tongue was out, he would have been there.
then
It was
it
a
would
hell
be
of a
like,
gamble to take.
I am ethically non-monogamous with this woman in the Commonwealth.
I mean, he
All
hadn't
right,
even
hold
met
up y'all
Stephanie
answers.
yet.
Let's see what y'all got.
Oh, shoot.
Sasha Williams, Sasha. Correct.
Sasha.
Looks like Amani got it first. So Amani, you pretty much solidified the game right there.
If the next
5
question's
points.
super easy and she gets it wrong, maybe she can lose.
Double points. So I don't even think that would save anybody.
Damn.
This one is worth
Kudos
10
literally the
points.
Second highest with 2 points. So it had to be triple points.
We
All right.
should probably work out something so that like different levels of questions have different points assigned to them because
Yeah,
you know,
if
like
we
the
had been
tank one would be a
tracking-
1, but like knowing the name of a friggin' wolf or you know a prisoner
Knowing
that
the
you
name
saw-
of the guy that had given himself up to be studied at Woodbury.
that would be
We
like
can
4
talk
points.
about that. I think that'd be fair.
I was gonna say, if we had been keeping track over the months of what questions were answered correctly most often and what ones were missed the most often, that could help. But I doubt we've been doing that. Well, I mean, your point count, that is the tell, right?
What
That's
we could do next time is we ask the question, and then before we show our answers, we determine how many points it's worth among ourselves. We vote.
Yeah.
And we say, oh, that one's super easy. That's only worth 1 point. This one's really hard. If someone gets it, they should get 3 points, you know.
Erica, that's so funny that you say that. Erica said episode titles should be triple points, and that's what I'm looking for in this next question on the card I rolled and pulled.
Okay.
I rolled
I'm
blue, which is character, blue is episodes, and the question is, what was the first episode to show the wolves? I need a title.
The first sign of the wolves or the wolves physically?
No, the first episode to physically show them.
I mean,
Okay.
I can visualize it, but
I'm terrible with names of episodes, except for 3 of them.
Miss Kayla, how many points you got today?
she's got 2.
Got to.
Miss Kayla, yeah, if you under 5, you got a mandatory season rewatch.
Are you
I
looking for the
know.
government
I
here?
mean-
Like the season in episode number 2?
No, just the title is fine. Show off.
Okay. Hey, I can't flex in many places in life, but knowledge is one of the few I can.
I would go back and rewatch, but I'm so tired when I get off work. Like,
Netflix has 2 times speed.
I have Netflix.
Yeah,
I have
but not everyone wants to watch it at 2 times speed. They want to enjoy the pacing as it was originally intended.
True. All right, I'm gonna give y'all 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I don't know.
Conquer 516. Morgan's Excellent Adventures ? The correct answer is Conquer.
Woo.
Amani got that,
whatever.
but Amani, you already know you won the 6 points, so congratulations.
Absolutely, congratulations, and
I will be right back.
okay, yeah, just message me. Let me know which one you want. Is this like the 3rd time in a row you've won? This
Wait, who
is
won?
Amani won.
I think it's like her.
I thought Mrs. Eddie Munson won recently.
No, it's been a little while for Mrs. Eddie Munson. The same person won last week who won the previous week, and I think this is her 3rd week in in a row. So yeah, I knew Morgan was in that episode. I just didn't.
I was gonna say, if it was
food
the
at
first time
campfire.
we've seen signs of it, I mean, one of the first clear signs of it was what happened and what's going on, which was Tyrese's death episode. But I swear that at the prison, at least once I saw Walker with a W at some point, but I was probably just tripping. So,
It could be, you drop lots of acid, but
woohoo!
yeah, this is Amani's 3rd time in a row. She said she's given the prize to Tiffany because she's already won several times.
Oh,
Yep, 3 in a row. I think that's like There should be an award for that, though. Like, I don't know. Jack, you give her something, because I'm all out of stuff to give. Okay, Tiffany. Well, you know how to get in touch with me. So tell me what you
I
want.
might have some Stillwater stuff or like Invincible or something.
Now, I don't know if I think when Dead City comes on, we're probably going to suspend the trivia because we'll probably have a lot more to talk about. And maybe, hopefully, a lot less to complain about for that.
I'm praying that's the case. Honestly, I don't even know if I want to spend that much energy complaining tonight.
And I'm hitting everybody with an ad. Watch it, because Tomaj has walked away. And
So with the YouTube ads, when it comes back, does it come back to just where we are right now, or come back to where we were when the ad started?
I have no idea. Most of the live streams, the few that I watch, don't actually run ads.
I mean, I usually run mine after. Like, in the lives that I posted, I put ads in there, but I never knew how to do them live.
Well,
Probably 'cause I
in the
wasn't
control
watching.
panel, there's a little button that says insert ad. So, yeah, I think Tomaj had a little Mexican food, and now he's dropping a deuce. So, you know,
I did not.
okay.
You have to let the little crackhead
A
out.
quad.
No, nothing. I didn't use the bathroom.
He had to go take his kids to the pool.
Kids, I only have a dog.
Okay, so yeah, Tiffany as the designated winnie. Yeah, just you know how to get in touch with me. Let me know which of the prizes you want, and it'd be real easy if you were going to Fan Expo. I'll just give it to you in person, but I can also ship. And Mrs. Eddie Munson says, "Don't worry, Tomaj. Everybody poops."
That was a great children's book, by the way. It made the topic a lot less taboo to talk about when I was growing up. My parents gave me that as a book. They're like, happens to everybody. And I'm like, wow, it does? Cool.
Everybody, yeah. It's a shitty subject, but you got to talk about it.
Yeah.
All right, so now that is done, and it could have been Ms. Kayla. You're saying who poops that quick? Sometimes
No,
when
literally.
it's like express, splash your cheeks poops that just,
I like that y'all came up with theories for why I left. You guys are so funny.
He didn't come up with them until you got back. There was no discussion of where you went until you returned.
Actually, I didn't even see it returned until, he spoke, and then
I mean, he fits in so well with the dynamic trio up there. I mean, it could be a super awesome quad group.
I'm iconic.
I love silly
Fantastic
humor.
Four.
And you're repping Shiva too. Is that actually a Shiva shirt?
Yeah. Yes, indeed. Says Shiva.
That wasn't a supply drop one, right? That was the Universe Shop one.
No, I think it was a supply drop one, or early one.
I was gonna say,
See-
yeah, it must have been early because I didn't get that one.
AMC is pretty good about putting out stuff for their
Cleo
shows.
said, speaking of shitty subjects, here comes fear.
Oh yeah.
I was gonna say before we get on that, it's like AMC is good at marketing their merch. HBO sucks. I haven't seen a Last of Us shirt anywhere, and I wanted to get one to react in, and they were nowhere to be found. So
Yeah.
Did you check Amazon?
yeah, I mean they might have game shirts. I don't know if they ever made a game shirt for.
Yeah, they have a bunch of games.
But I
Sure.
wanted to have Pedro on me. Oh yeah, Pedro on me. No, won't. We won't talk about that. But well, I guess that's better than saying I wanted Ellie on me, because that's just sick.
Yeah, that's a much better choice.
Yes, but all right. Speaking of shitty subjects, indeed, let's talk about Fear this week. I mean, there were some good moments. It wasn't as bad, I don't think, as the previous two episodes.
I mean, episode 1 was probably the roughest. This,
Yeah.
I mean, I enjoyed seeing
questionable.
Daniel return. I enjoy, you know,
Mhm.
I don't know if you can see it. Dang
we
it.
can't.
But
It
I found the
disappears.
HBO Last of Us shirt. Dang
All
it.
right. I wonder when it came
I
out.
can't. I can't.
It's on HBO Shop.
I'll
As
have
paged
to.
up.
Pedro Pascal will be on my body. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. My nips are getting hard right now.
Oh.
all right.
Oh.
Jack's like, more information than I needed to know.
Definitely.
No, but I mean, it wasn't too bad, and we open up on, you know. Now, we saw flashback versions of a flashback version of Shrike. Was that de-aged or was that a different actress? Because if they got a different actress, she was perfect.
No, I'm pretty sure that was the same person. I think it was just honestly, I was sort of in the opposite boat. I thought it looked like she looked like the same person, but it reminded me in Dexter when they show Deb and Dexter being young.
Yeah, well, that was kind of sad.
It was kind of rough. Like you could tell they were just like, oh, let's give them pigtails and kid clothes and look at that, they're kids. But it's like, no, they're not. But yeah, I don't know. It was kind of rough, but the acting in the flashbacks at the end was so bad.
Mm-hmm.
We're so far from that point in the episode, but when we get there.
After the father died, there was no point in the flashbacks for me. Like I didn't need to see anything else. I was like,
You
okay,
didn't need to
people
see him
back to the
standing
main-
there giving a monologue as he's being ripped apart and
Yeah.
not reacting to the bites.
I was thinking the same.
He was
I'm
like,
he's
just
getting bit. and I'm
make
like,
sure
"No, don't hurt."
that you keep this thing going because that's what matters the
Right.
most. It's like,
Just take it
sir,
out.
you are dying.
And he just unfazed. He's a trooper.
Yeah,
I mean, hey,
he
he's
is
in the
true
military. Maybe
man.
that's just how it goes.
Just ripping
Yeah.
off chunks of
Pain
flesh.
is just
and
weakness
he's
in
unbothered.
my flesh leaving the body.
Fear stresses me out
Oh,
Yeah.
me too.
I mean,
because I know they watch this and they just look at it and they're like, masterpiece. Yes, love it. And I'm like,
I am. So we start off. We don't necessarily need to go chronological, but we start off with, Madison is going to be the next on the wonderful game show. Can you survive this bite? So that is, and like they took a bunch of blood from her apparently to see if it's something genetic. But it's like they don't have the equipment to like examine the gene structure. I mean, they have microscope. I don't think they have do they have equipment that's going to be able to sequence the genes and see, if there's some odd genetic configuration? I don't think so. That would be amazing.
If they're working in cahoots with CRM, maybe they do. You never know.
I don't know that they're working in cahoots with anybody. I think CRM would be like, what the fuck are these people doing?
I mean, hey, they were kind of looking for a cure too.
Yeah, but
And are we just gonna dismiss the fact that they just introduced a cure in this episode? They're like, oh yeah, Finch is still okay. Anyways, and we're like, whoa,
yeah, that was like
he's fine.
that was
well,
That's
the
a pretty big
creator-
revelation.
One of the creators said it's not meant to be looked at as a cure, just more so another way of being able to prevent bites without amputating. Like, so it's mainly for spots that can't be chopped off, pretty much. Like how Rosita was bitten on the back. If they would have had the radiation in Commonwealth and did that, she could have lived. But that's
Now
that's
they're
all it
telling
is.
us.
Just yeah,
That's
it's not supposed
pretty
to.
much a cure, though.
well, it's
Not
a way
really, because
without
you can still
dismembering the
die
person of
Internment.
Now,
Yeah.
what we need to figure out is if they need to keep administering the radiation, or if after a certain amount of treatments they don't have to anymore. If that's the case, I would consider that a cure. But if they have to keep administering it, then yeah, I don't consider that a cure because it would just be destroying the whatever
No,
is spreading.
It basically what they said was if you do it quick enough, it only works if you do it immediately. So if you do it quick enough, it kills the infection right there from the bite.
'cause-
But you can still die. Like if Finch gets shot, and he dies regularly, he'll still turn again. So
Well, what's
that's why
weird?
it's not really a cure. It's just a preventative measure of turning. So
What's weird though is the virus, the zombie virus. Everyone has it, so that's not what's killing people. It's like it's either when you get bit. It's just, I mean, those biters obviously don't brush their teeth. They got really gnarly teeth. The infection that they cause you is what kills you. It's just like you're getting bit by a sewer. And that's what causes you to die, and then you turn because of the virus. Either that, they've never really explained, either that or the bite has so much additional virus that it upsets the balance in your body, and the virus is able to then take over. I'm not sure what, but
if I remember, Kirkman said that the main reason he hasn't delved into the science behind a lot of it is because he doesn't want people looking into it and trying to pick it apart. He just kind of wants it to be. But if that was the case, then they shouldn't be doing stuff like this, which is directly making us think about and consider the scientific implications behind the stuff they're doing.
Well, I think if Kirkman had any control over Fear the Walking Dead, it probably wouldn't suck quite so much. So,
Yeah.
and he wouldn't have allowed 106 to happen because he said he doesn't like the CDC episode. So
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they gave him a shitload of money, so he's like, I'm not sure I like this, but I'm going to shut the fuck up and count my cash.
yeah, and it's just an adaptation, so it's not really affecting his story. So
Well, Black Hat says it has never been explained and it likely never will be. But then again, Daryl is going to France where there's, some enhanced biters and some scientists possibly that he might run into. And who knows, they could actually explain this shit. But it would
Maybe
be
that's why
nice.
they're taking so long to make his show, because they're trying to figure out how to explain it that'll satisfy the fans.
Well, I think the reason all the shows got pushed back is because I saw The Last of Us and said, shit, we got to up our game for making this shit look like it's post-apocalyptic, because they put us to shame with all that stuff. I mean, yeah, most of Walking Dead and Fear has been not in big cities, but they did amazing stuff in The Last of Us. So that's why I was like, yeah, Dead City's got to up their game if they're going to make, New York look like it's been abandoned for so many years. And maybe they were like, shit, we do have to. And, that's why it's been delayed. Cleo says, how's Morgan going to show up in the Rick and Morgan show if they're in New Jersey and Morgan goes to Georgia? Yeah.
I don't think Morgan's going to reunite with Rick and Michonne. I think he might just end up at Alexandria or something, which would be nice.
That's what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
Or they might run into some people on the road, on their way back who are from the Commonwealth.
or Morgan could get taken by the CRM or something. You never know.
Yeah. I really
mean,
wish
that
that
would
they
be
would
cool
address
way
the
for them to
Heath
reunite.
thing more.
Both got to escape a prison.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's probably not going to work considering Michonne's probably going to rescue Rick. So they
Well-
would have had to been. They probably would have had to been plan that.
Have they
Yeah.
actually? I know this is not Fury related. Have they actually confirmed that Heath was taken? By
I could have
CRM?
sworn that Angela Kang said it in an interview that was published online, that someone did an interview with her and she was quoted saying that he was taken by the CRM, or he was taken by the same people that took Rick, or that Jadis took him, or something of that nature. I mean, I'll try and find it, but I swore that that's the angle that they went with.
I feel like I've heard that too.
I mean, that's possible. If they just said, he's gone. I mean, in a world without cell phones, without communication, he could have been, basically attacked by a bunch of biters. He could have fell down a ravine and broke his leg, and we would never know what happened to him. And that's more kind of realistic, actually. Loose
Okay, so
ends in real life are real. I mean, I'm not saying that I don't want to know what happened to him, but I'm just saying that if they had said he just disappeared. It's possible a lot of things could have happened. He could have gotten attacked by biters. He could have gotten bit. He could have turned. Someone else could have killed him that we haven't met yet.
No, I found the article. It's on skybound.com, and it was from 2018. And the tagline for it is that Angela Kang confirms popular fan theory about Heath, and said it's because his RV they show it in that scene that everyone hates the CGI on, where Rick is standing on top of the trash pile.
Right.
Heath's RV is in that shot in the back.
Ow.
Like above Rick's left shoulder, I think. So like the helipad's to the left of the screen, and right above like Rick's left shoulder is the RV, like right here. And she said that the theory that he was taken by Jadis and used as an offering for the helicopter community, because they hadn't named it back then, was true. And so the quote that they have her saying is, that was kind of the intention that we had in the back of our heads this whole time. So
right, but since they did not actually have it on the show, it's not set in stone canon. I mean, it was in an interview.
But it's if we never see him again or mentioned again, then it kind of sucks. I mean, I was sort of hoping that we were going to get something on him in either World Beyond or the Rick and Michonne show or something. But if he was traded for supplies, he was likely used to be experimented on. But if he wasn't, that'd be cool, because he was like a go-getter kind of thing. So maybe he would have been an A, like Rick. I don't know.
Well, Rick was a B.
And
to me, he was a son of a B.
I always flip that shit.
But yeah, so let's get back to this episode, because it's funny how we so quickly diverge from talking about fear. I mean, it's weird to me that suddenly Mo and a bunch of the trainees were now on the mainland and able to get to the the track. That was very convenient. But however it happened, Mo kind of saves the day. I was expecting her to at least take out one of those guys with her hammer, bash him in the knee or something. But
Right.
That would have been nice.
I think all Mo had to do was pass her test, and then she was allowed to go to the mainland. I think that was why she was doing that in the first episode. And then we see, I think at the end of the first episode, she was able to succeed in killing the walkers. So I think that's why they allowed her on the mainland now. And that's probably why she was.
But I know we're not going in order. But I want to talk about the reveal to Dove and the stupid way they twisted that. I mean, seriously? All right. So, Madison realizes that, no, it's not this woman's daughter. She was just very hopeful. And it was actually the very attractive woman that unfortunately died,
Ava.
at the end of last season. But the thing is, yes, she died, and Madison could have said, yes, she was killed by Padre troops. I did not encourage her to go after them. She was trying to get to you, and they killed her. But the whole who made her think she could get her back, that was bullshit in my humble opinion. That's not it's like Madison in no way said, hey, you should go up and fight those Padre troops. She did not say that. She did not encourage that, and she was even not in a position to do much because she was buried up to her neck in sand. So there was nothing she could have done, so it was stupid for her to be like, oh no, it's my fault because I did not tell her explicitly that going up against trained people with machine guns is a bad idea. Come on. That was like, it's like she's taking the blame for something that's not her fault. But of course, it's like it felt so awkwardly shoehorned in there just so Dove would, turn on them. That was my main point of contention. Not saying there wasn't other shit, but
my main point of contention was why we not shooting these two crazies in the head. Like,
Yeah.
they think kidnapping kids is okay, and we just walked right in here, lost more than half of our numbers because we had to leave them on the island. Like, there's no way I'm leaving these two alive. And then they got let themselves be recaptured, and we got hostages, the two most important hostages.
yeah.
What? Just let the guards come in the room because he called guards. Okay. I was over it at that point. It's just that whole scene was bad.
But, Madison had such guilt for, misleading, Dove's
Okay,
mom.
but June,
Bullshit.
you were so adamant about not going back with these people. Shoot them in the head. Like,
Right.
damn. You just let yourself be recaptured. There's no way I'm letting myself be recaptured. If I'm Madison, regardless of how much guilt I got, they threw me in a cell for 7 years. Like, there's no way I'm going back. You know what I mean? Like, see, in episode 1, she's ready to kill herself. That's like how bad she wanted to get out of this situation. So the fact that you just let yourself be taken again, knowing that was going to be your fate.
Well, no, she was going back. And then the stupid Padre people go back to the lab where Daniel and his little army already knew where that was.
With no backup.
With no back, 2 fucking troops. Come on, really? You're going to go 2 troops?
It got bad. When they got to that island, the rest of the episode was just horrible. I was like, okay. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I was very happy to see Daniel back. That was a good moment,
Yeah.
It seems kind of cheap that their entire just way to justify him not losing his mind anymore is, he's just having some super convenient herbal tea that's just making all his dementia go away.
Yes.
Gotcha. It's like, really? Because no, that's not how that would work. But all right, cool. We'll go with it because it's fear, and why the fuck not?
Yeah, that's another.
I mean, can we talk about why they left Shriek alive again? So Daniel came back free.
Can we not? Because it never makes sense anymore. I get it like once or twice because they want to maybe like bargain or some shit, but just don't. Just stop. Like, you know me. I'm usually one for like, let's have peace. But at this point, I'm fucking over it. Just kill him.
I know,
so done.
just talking to him and
so
stuff.
done.
Like, just shoot him already. Like,
Or if you want to really, June was taking our, fingers, take her arm off.
No,
June should have just been popping off in general, like all these years, like slowly weakening them. Like, I'm all for like a slow revenge, but like at a point, it's like, okay, I ain't got 7 years worth of, just cutting off fingers to do. Like, that's just so.
Well,
that's a waste of my
the
life.
other thing is Daniel was in a position of strength, and he's like, let them go, and we'll, and you can go free. It's like, why are you making this deal? It's like, let them go, and we won't riddle you full of bullets right now. We'll give you a couple minutes to make your peace with God, and then we're going to riddle you full of bullets. Come on.
mm-hmm.
It's
And,
just so
and he's
funny
a
to
badass
me.
former CIA operative or whatever that has done some pretty mean shit. I understand he doesn't want to quite go that route anymore, but there are times that
You need to.
it's like, you've been a pain in my ass for 7 years, or a pain in
It's
your
just
ass for
funny that
7
in the
years.
first-
Let's kill you.
The first few years of the apocalypse, they were traveling all over the map. So suddenly, these last 7 years, we stuck in the same area. Ain't nobody.
Maybe
left.
that's why, because they got tired of it. I don't know.
It seems like Alicia's the only one that left, and maybe
Strand?
Sarah and, Wendell.
The kids from season 5.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to those
They got
kids.
shipped off. We ain't never seen them again.
They'll probably be like, oh yeah, we're now on Padre, so we're wrapping everything up. We got kidnapped by
Who
Padre.
knows?
And they're talking about Charlie, and it's like, yeah, unless they had a miracle cure for the radiation poisoning, she's gone. She's, there's no way. Unless
Which
Padre
was
had
wasted
something.
potential because there should have been an emotional scene between Charlie and Madison, considering, Charlie killed Nick.
Does Madison know that happened?
No,
No,
she asked
knows-
about
she knows-
it, and then
She knows that Nick is
June
dead.
didn't
She
say
knows he's
anything.
been buried, but she doesn't know who did it.
And who? So the only people that know Morgan, Luciana, Strand, John Dory, who's dead, Alicia
Alicia.
might be dead.
June knows, doesn't she?
I don't
Yeah.
think. Does she?
Yeah, you know.
She wasn't there though. So when was she told about it?
I don't know.
I don't see how they could have gotten around that. I mean, I don't know. I've only watched Fear once, so it's like. But
Well,
I know,
Rob and Trin are going back through season 4 right now.
We're not
So
doing any Fear the Walking Dead trivia because no one wants to rewatch that shit.
But I mean, that's what I was going to say. I thought if June knew, I feel like she would have told, but I know for sure Daniel didn't know. And if Morgan knew, he made the executive decision to just not tell her.
I think they have to be probably thinking if there's no good in telling her that her son was murdered.
Yeah, like if they can't think of a good way to write scenes about it, then just don't include it.
And
Which part of me kind of gets.
It
well, not
disappoints
to
me.
mention, like, Charlie's likely dead at this point, so what is the point of getting Madison like, I'm going to kill that Charlie?
They
She's dead
shouldn't
already.
have started the season off with a time jump because it doesn't make sense, first of all. They should have done some reunions first, then got captured by Padre, then did the time jump. I think we should have gotten.
They got to be planning something else for the second half because I feel like they're going to wrap up the Padre stuff for the most part in the first half and then do some sort of world building shit with the second half because I don't see them dragging this out all 12 episodes. As rough as Fear can be, they don't usually drag out stuff, at least anymore, as much.
We had
And
half a season of fucking radioactive biters and Grace running around making people strip and shower. That was enough of that. Yeah, I don't think.
It took me like a month to get through Fear season 5. Month. I was like, oh, I just watched.
Yeah, imagine how it felt for us that were watching live.
I didn't watch live. I refused to watch Fear back in the day. I just got curious of what Morgan was doing. I'm like, well, let me go check out Fear because I want to see what Morgan's doing.
I mean, I saw the initial episode with Morgan meeting John Dory and everything, and I like John Dory, but I never really. I have a lot of gaps in my watching of Fear, but I do have to say, yeah, season 5. Because Morgan came over in season 4, right?
I believe.
Yeah, the 401.
Yeah, so
That's
I
when
saw,
John Dory
like,
came in too.
Yeah, because I saw like the
Althea
first
in June.
episode of
Naomi.
Naomi. Yeah,
I like that they made that connection.
I know that I was like, oh yeah, that's right. They literally haven't seen each other since the stadium went to shit.
and she was using her fake name, which
Yeah.
is like, why? I mean, everyone has only one name in this fucking world anyway, so you're stealing a name from somebody else that could potentially.
I asked her about that the first con that I met her at. I was one of the people that got picked to go up and ask questions to the panel, and I brought that up. I was like, obviously, without spoiling, is there one that you prefer? Like one of the names? I was like, we got Naomi, we got June, and there was another one, Laura. Like, what are we going with here? I'm like, do you got a preference? And even she was like.
Does your
He
character
was like,
have
I
a
don't know
multiple
what to do.
personality disorder, or?
At this point, it seems like it.
Well, Morgan certainly does. He's got all kinds of personalities.
Mm-hmm.
I want him to go back to clear, but
Me too.
Oh, I think he will be, based off that promo. Because there's no way he made it from where he's at all the way to Kings County. On foot, there's no way.
no.
So
no,
he has to be doing sort of hallucination.
Unless they're doing Game of Thrones season 7, 8 stuff with time jumps.
There's
you
no
can just
way.
travel there. Why not?
There's no way because I think in the promo Mo was there and Grace, and I'm like, there's no way. Grace named Mo, there's no way. There has to be some hallucination, and I think they're setting that up because in the first episode he had all the names and stuff written, which means his mind ain't gonna be there. So
Yeah.
What state are they in right now?
I think they're near Louisiana.
Louisiana somewhere.
Okay, so for him to get from Virginia to Texas took like a year or somewhere around there.
Mhm.
So it could be done, but they definitely wouldn't show it. So if they did jump around,
if you were gonna walk from, from Texas to, like Virginia, I don't think it would take you that long. I don't think it would take you a year, but it would take you a good number of months.
well,
If he was
I don't know if it took a
sightseeing,
full year, but
if he was sightseeing,
he's also dealing with walkers and potentially people. So I don't know. It was interesting though with the initial first part of that flashback that they gave us a definitive amount of time.
12 years. Yeah.
Because, it was 12, which had me thinking. I was like, okay, so if that was 12, that seemed to be semi near the start, not the start, but kind of close to it, because it seemed like stuff was already kind of going to shit, but it was still relatively together because all the senators and stuff were still alive and the military seemed relatively intact still. So maybe that could have been before Rick woke up still. Because
I don't know if it's that far back. But...
Well, no, maybe not before. No, it might have been right after he woke up, because they mentioned that it was recent that Atlanta and LA were bombed. So it was probably shortly after our Fear crew got on Strand's boat. So I was just thinking, because that had me thinking back to the Here's Negan flashback where it said 13 years ago, and that was close to day one. Because on the radio you heard them talking about it going on. So I was trying to see where it was lining up in our timeline-ish, and it seems like it's post Michonne leaving is where they are about right now. Or close to that. Or maybe, well, no, because if it was 12 and that was 13, then no, I think it was like right before Michonne leaves, because there's like a decent jump after season 10, I'm pretty sure. So I don't fucking know anymore. You can't. It's so fucking hard to keep up. I'm
Walking Dead
so
math
over it.
is really hard. I'm just here. We got two teenagers whose father, or maybe young 20-year-old, whatever, but their father gets killed. And what did all the other soldiers that he had with him also get killed? And then they went back to the island and pretended their father was still there. I mean, it just seems a really weird motivation for them to just be like, well, we felt the pain of losing our dad, so we don't want any other kids to feel that way, so we're going to take them away from their parents and just tell them that their parents are bad people.
Wow.
That,
trash.
I thought the flashback started out strong. I was like, wow, this is cool. I wish we would have got more stuff like this. And then each time we got more of it, I'm like, well, now I'm seeing why we didn't, because they don't really know how to write it well. They start out strong, and then it was like, oh, okay.
They hid on the boat. I mean, when were they able to sneak by all the guards to hide on the boat in the first place? And they're
I'm
military.
so pissed that they got their dad killed, because the dad actually seemed relatively competent. Like, he was popping caps.
Yeah.
Like, he was doing better than Rick was.
And he had a good plan. And
He had
a great plan. He sounded like Deanna.
Yeah,
Well, like a combination of Deanna and like Jesus. Like,
and
they got to
did
bring
the
communities
opposite of
together.
what he was going to do. They just said, yeah, our dad wants to save the world, but we're going to kidnap children.
Like, I'm not about wishing kids to die that much, but I kind of wish that he wouldn't have saved them, and or he wouldn't have known, and they would have just died, and he just would have had no idea. But it seemed like his whole plan went to shit anyway, because all the people that he left with died. So maybe the plan was going to go to shit inevitably, because it seemed like that shipyard was like flooded with walkers anyway. Which by the end of the episode, was I reading that situation right? Or are they just planning on being like, oh, fuck you guys, hope your training paid off, we're gonna see how it works, and they're just gonna do that?
That's
Well,
the way I see it.
That seems real dumb.
what they could be planning on is letting out, a group of walkers at a time, and
That's not easy to regulate, though.
well,
Well, the Whisperers did it, but
How are they transporting them? Because I'm thinking you got to travel by water to get...
time travel and something that doesn't have to be explained to us because that would be too difficult.
No,
It looked like there were some of the soldiers down there with the wall.
Yeah.
Back.
Who fucking knows? I don't anymore. It's
I don't know. Just their motivation seemed weak, and so they decided, because they felt the pain of losing a parent, that they would kidnap children. What a connection! And just tell the kids.
Masterpiece. They looked at it and said, masterpiece. Everybody got the script and was like, you guys are brilliant.
Yeah.
And I just don't understand.
I just don't think that the showrunners and the writers that work for them understand how humans work.
At
it's
all.
like, and plus the whole thing, getting back to the whole, Dove, her mom got killed because her mom wouldn't have gotten killed if, at least not in the way that she died, if Padre didn't steal, Odessa in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
If they hadn't taken her kid, she wouldn't have been
Well,
trying
Madison
to get him
was
back.
the one that took her.
Right. But she, again, was working for Padre and had to,
By her choice, though. Because I feel like we established that their reasoning, or like the reasons they were holding above her head, weren't really solid or sound enough. Because there's no possible way they would have had any information about Nick and Alicia other than what she may have given them. And so for Madison to just fall for that and be like, oh, you must have my children, that you totally know what they look like, and you know that my kids, and you totally know their names. I feel like a parent would have done a little more research on that and not just
Well, you're
accepted
forgetting that the writing and the showrunners don't know how humans work, so...
Oh, I know, but that seems like a bit... That was my main gripe with the finale. That just made no sense to me that she accepted that they just happened to know about her kids.
I think it's pretty obvious that the showrunners decided this is the way we want things to be, and we're going to make it fit no matter how much it doesn't make sense. We're going to figure out a way.
Oh, Lord. Miss Kaylee, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. I don't know what's going on.
You're becoming a cartoon
just saying.
character. And Tomaj had to go take another dump, so...
I'm still here. I'm not taking a dump.
If you were...
I mean, if
trust
you
I
were,
promise.
there's no shame. Everybody
No.
poops.
Sure.
But we just can't
I mean,
see
if you don't, there's a problem.
Yeah, if you never do, that's, you need help.
You need fiber. Introducing today's sponsor.
Yes. What is that?
Fibrose.
Or Fortiva. Yes. And here's Jamie Lee Curtis to talk about how you can eat yogurt and shit your brains out.
Activia.
There we go, Activia, yeah.
See how much fun we have when we're talking about anything other than fear?
Literally.
Yeah.
I want
So
you
Black
to
Cat
get so
said
good at it.
Strand could have been an amazing villain, but they messed that up too. They gave
Yeah.
him a little bit of a redemption. And that
I wouldn't even call that redemption. I just...
they
was a hot
decided he
mess.
was worth saving, and it's like, no. John Dory should have hit him in the head as he, did, but then he should have taken a knife and shoved it through his skull before going and taking Baby Mo. And then he could have went and said, hey, Strand's been killed, so there might be
Baby
a killer
Mo
here.
did it.
I am going to evacuate this baby out because we don't know who killed him. And, we're going to get this baby to safety. He could have come up with some bullshit story because the writers do. So, yeah. Black Cat says Fear the Walking Dead has the weakest villains ever.
Yes.
I mean, Teddy was kind of cool. I liked
Yeah,
Teddy.
I liked that. The complexity of that was there. I was a fan.
And Virginia, I mean, not my favorite villain. I mean, of the entire Walking
But
Dead universe.
tolerable.
Yeah, I mean, she was. I don't know how she had the authority all over all those big redneck men on horses, because I could see them all being like, "Yeah, I ain't taking no fucking orders from a woman." You know, I could see them.
I
doing
mean,
that.
yeah, but they could also been whipped.
Yeah, she might have.
Could have just been a bunch of simps or incels. You never know.
I don't know. Maybe she.
Maybe
Has
that
a
she gained their
lottery.
respect.
Yeah, or she has a lottery and sleeps with one of them every month. I don't know. But
Jesus.
no, I mean, I have no objection to a female leader. Female leaders are awesome, but when it comes to villains who are like survival of the fittest, I could see that being. I mean, she did not seem particularly skilled to me. So that
It seemed like she was good at talking and delegating, and that was probably the strength. Kind of
Right.
like how Deanna was. Like, Deanna wasn't really physically intimidating in any capacity,
No,
but
Deanna was also in in a community that still adhered to, you know, more civilized concepts. You know, the Rangers and Virginia and her Rangers, they did not seem, you know, they were basically take what we want, you know, but I just have a hard time believing that there wouldn't be some Ranger who'd be like, you know, she has got a smart mouth, she should be in the kitchen. I'm not saying that's my attitude about women, absolutely, but I'm saying there are people with that attitude who would be like, you know,
statistically, it makes sense that there would be at least a few left.
yeah,
Because, I mean, shit, look, we had Ed, we had Pete.
yep. I mean, they eventually got killed by better people, but, you know, there's still assholes out there. And some guy would have thought, I can do better than Virginia, and would have taken her out, you know, and been like, that's a problem with, like, organizations that use fear and intimidation and physicality as their tools of choice. Is if you're not at the top of the food chain with all those things, you know, it's hard for you to lead, you know. So
Yeah.
I mean, obviously in Woodbury we were a little bit more civilized, but I also demonstrated a lot of strength and you know,
That on top of knowing how to talk to them.
yeah.
Like, a good example, I don't know how many of us have seen Last of Us, but the like little situation that they did where they had that girl like temporarily leading, but her brother was the one that was before, and everyone like had a lot of respect for her brother or whatever, and because of that they sort of grandfathered her in. If that was the case with Virginia, that might have made a little bit more sense, but yeah, the fact that they just automatically were like, let's go. Wasn't that at the result of another time jump too? Wasn't there a time jump in that season or at the start of the season that like when everyone just happened like started to be working around there? Or was that mid-season?
Well, that was I think it was the
time.
mid-season.
I was gonna say because it was around when Morgan got shot and everyone got separated.
Right. Was that the mid-season of or was that at the end of 5 that
Morgan got shot at the end of 5, and then 6 picks up with him like very sick. You know, he had the red eyes, and the walkers were ignoring him.
And
then
then,
everybody
but
else
then
was
the
already
other
integrated.
episodes, I think, were like ahead in time.
Yeah, they were already established. June was already in her mobile hospital.
Yeah, it had already
right?
been like a year or something, or
Yeah.
or at least
Yeah,
6 to 8 months, something like that.
It was a small time jump, but
Yes.
Yeah, but I feel like obviously that's probably part of the reason why I feel like most of us enjoyed 6 a bit more is because they didn't drag that. But I feel like that was a time jump done well because it showed both. it showed what was directly following the events we just saw and what's forward. So it didn't just immediately skip forward with everything and then be like, oh, here's a little bit from the past, here's a little bit. It was showing them kind of simultaneously, and they blended it well, whereas this, I feel like, isn't really blending it well because they're just like, yeah, we're this far ahead and everyone's at this place. And you're like, okay, but I don't get why
we
we're
don't
at
know
this
where
place.
Luciana is. We don't know where Charlie is.
Yeah.
I think this
Well,
Charlie's
Charlie's
dead.
probably dead.
Yeah.
Charlie's
I think this-
dead. Yes.
This season's a good example of what happens when you put the plot first and not the characters. Because the characters are acting out of character to serve the
to
plot.
drive the plot.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just bad writing. So
And I think the fact that they cut it to 12 is probably a big reason for that, because they want to make sure that they're wrapping the story up the way that they feel they need to make things have a clean ending, but also I'm hoping, and they could do nothing related to this whatsoever, but I'm hoping that the second half does some tie to something else in the Walking Dead universe in some capacity. Otherwise, what was the point?
I had
Like-
that hope for the main show with the CRM, and I was disappointed. So
I
I'm not doing
know.
that
I
again.
thought that with Lance too, but I feel like since we already are pretty judgmental about Fear, I don't think there's a problem with us already setting that expectation and being judgmental. Like with Walking Dead, we were just kind of like, okay. But this, I feel like we are already harsh and critical of it. There's no reason to stop now.
Right.
We already
I
give them
will
shit
say
every
that
week.
Just touching on the chat, Mercenary X86 said what happened to all those other kids from season 5, and Tiffany said, "Who cares?" Which, yeah, I mean, we weren't really attached to them, but Tiffany, they definitely want to know where Strand is.
Yep.
And
Because
Black-
he's one. I mean, even though his story last season wasn't done well, he's still one of the most interesting characters to watch, in my opinion. I really enjoy watching.
Yeah, Coleman's an amazing actor, and his story was one of the most inconsistent and painful to get through last season. But I'm hoping they didn't just drop him after that, because I do not feel like that is a justifiable
No, he's
end to his
credited.
character.
He's credited in the season.
He's
Okay.
going to show up because he's a producer, but Black Cats also said, love the episode Dead in the Water, that it was...
I actually still haven't seen that yet. But
Well,
Me
I
neither.
actually recommended it was actually good, though I don't know how the virus travels. So that's the thing. They're on a sub. This is not a big spoiler. You know, it starts on a sub. And they're on a sub, and somebody actually does die on the sub and turns, but I'm not sure how long was the virus spreading so that they caught it before they were deployed. You know.
Oh, it was like on deployment. It wasn't like in the middle of the apocalypse still.
Well,
No.
they showed at the beginning of the apocalypse where they're like, you know,
But so like they didn't go on it as a result of the apocalypse starting to hide out. They were already there.
they were already
Right, they
out
were on a
there, and
mission,
then they're like,
I
we can't
believe.
contact
Oh.
anybody.
Oh
You know.
yeah, that could raise more questions than answers for sure.
And again, it's like, so they had the virus. The virus was being spread person to person, and people on this boat caught it and spread it before they left port, and then started things going to shit. How long did it have to, you know, incubate in the population before it actually went into effect? It raises questions. I mean, it was an excellent little miniseries, and it's obvious that one person biting someone else, I wouldn't necessarily realize what that means until later. But yeah, that one was good, but a lot of Fear. I just yeah. Again, I was actually talking about this with Peter Macon from the Orville, because we touched on Planet of the Apes, because he's in the new Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, and I said we won't talk about the Wahlberg one, and he said, It wasn't that bad. Well, okay, never mind. And I said, well, even that movie, even the Mark Wahlberg Planet of the Apes, had moments that were kind of cool.
Yeah.
Every episode, even in Fear the Walking Dead, has moments that are kind of cool. But then they don't put the moments together right, and then they have moments that are just plain stupid. So, yeah. I haven't made my TikTok videos screaming about the horrible scenes this season. I think I'm going to do 3 in 1 and scream about the bad scenes in 1, 2, and 3. So I can show there's a pattern. It's not just one episode. Mercer actually, we're done with the main radiation stuff. That was terrible. Technically, all of them should have been affected by it. Well, apparently Grace was, because she's a mutant now who can shoot a gun in a moving boat and hit with pinpoint accuracy from 200 yards away. So she is a mutant now.
Basically.
Yeah, it's...
That was the reason I'm going with for everyone acting totally out of character, is that it's radiation. You know,
Yeah,
like, not a lot of people get affected by radiation in current day and time, so we don't actually really know how it would affect everybody. So maybe it just made all of these people totally not act like themselves.
Yeah, they're all sick in the head.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you would be, a little grumpy too if you had mild radiation poisoning that made you shit your pants all the time. So, yeah, it's just, Portrait of a Lady put it, she's agreeing and says fear is frustratingly inconsistent, and that's, the characters are inconsistent, and yeah, it's like they're putting the story above being true to the characters, which there are ways to figure out where the story should go and still be true to the character,
Yeah. They just don't want to do it.
It actually takes some smarts and ingenuity and work, and yeah, I think they don't want to do the work, and maybe they're not all that smart. I mean, I understand the showrunners were the people who ran Once Upon a Time into the ground, so I mean, I watched the first couple seasons of Once Upon a Time, and then it was just getting a little bit much for me, and I just kind of fell away from it. But from the people who stuck with it, they say that they basically destroyed it. And, yeah. And AMC is like, well, this show isn't doing that well anyway, so let's give them to these guys. Yeah.
I did a big reveal of who Padre was. I was so mad. It made it seem like it was just a big reveal or something, and it was terrible.
And the logic behind it, like, oh, they don't know my dad is dead, but if they don't see him, well then, hey, they'll think he's still alive and calling a shot. So nobody checked on this man in 7 years or 12 years, I guess.
Yeah.
Nobody wanted to see, hey, let's have a drink, or how you doing? Let me see what you look. You know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
nobody. Just following a mysterious voice. Come on, bullshit.
Yeah, it's crazy.
They pissed me off with this episode. They pissed me off. It didn't make any sense. Like,
I was expecting a reveal and maybe some surprises, but I was surprised at how stupid it was. Now, Tiffany was saying in a real apocalypse, we'd be toast because every reactor in the U.S. would melt down pretty quickly. I have to disagree because...
You don't think?
I think some of them might melt down, but I think that it was gradual enough that someone's like, okay, shit, we got to turn this shit down because things are going to shit. And, it wasn't so sudden that some people couldn't have performed a shutdown. And I would hope that there are some safety measures in place at some of these plants that if they're unattended, they actually, kind of go into shutdown mode themselves.
It would be nice.
Yeah,
and if
I mean,
not,
it also
I'm
depends
very
on-
upset. Homer Simpson does not belong working in a power plant.
The governor's just running through the apocalypse, sees a nuke coming, he just gets disappointed instantly. Like, those fucking idiots.
You maniacs! You
They had
maniacs.
one job.
Curse you, fucking nuclear workers.
You maniacs! You
What did you
it.
get those degrees for? Bastards.
So Black Cat says the best part of this episode was seeing Daniel and Madison back together. I mean, I think that was kind of cool.
Loved it.
If Daniel, I was so ready, so ready for him to immediately just walk up and be like, "Do I know you?" Like I was expecting that kind of reaction.
We talked
to
about
it.
that, right, Jack? About
Yeah.
if he was
But he's got the
a
herbal
blank
tea.
slate.
Yeah.
The magical tea that cures what, dementia or whatever the
Yeah.
hell he has.
Alzheimer's.
Whatever. But
Or
yeah,
maybe
it
he
would
was just doing what a lot of older folks do, and it was just selective. Like he just really didn't want to have to be involved. So he was just like, "What? What's going on? Who are you? What? What did you say?"
yeah, I've thought
There's
about
a lot
that.
of old people that are like, "Oh, I can hear fine. I just tell them I can't."
What's the name
Yeah.
from Game of Thrones who acted old? What's his name?
Pycelle.
Maester
Awesome. Mm-hmm.
Mm-mm-mm.
He was like acting with the hose, and then he just like hunched over and
Literally.
the whole like squatting and everything.
But it
Oh.
would have been cool if he did lose his memory and Padre did what they did best and kind of brainwashed him and he became a war soldier
Yeah.
for them. That would have been an interesting story, but they can't write. So
Yeah.
they should have put their foot in the final season, but they didn't.
They're asking
Yet.
where's Skidmark at this point? Well, first
Dead.
of all,
Dead.
Daniel said that he lost Skidmark. You know, nuclear bombs were coming, so I imagine that's...
Fuck that cat. But I can't lie.
I mean,
if
that's
my
not
little
much of
Rainy-
an excuse to me, because I would be like... keeping
Yeah,
track
if
of my
Rainy
cats.
ran and the nuke was coming, I'm going after Rainy. We're just going to die together.
Yeah.
I don't think I could live with myself letting my little Rainy just...
I mean, it wasn't
Right.
a kitten when he had it, right?
Yeah, I mean,
So-
7 years later...
It would
I mean,
probably
plus
be
all the
dead
time,
anyway.
and unfortunately, not having the proper vet care and being out there, you know, in the wild. I mean, stray cats, feral cats, usually last about 8 years, you know. So, you know, it's the ones that we keep inside and protect that last about 15 or more. But
They get overfed and pampered.
yeah, well, that happens too. But Mrs. Eddie Munson says she doesn't feel that this season is as bad as everyone's making it out to be. Likes it better than seasons past. I mean, it's probably a little bit of improvement over last season.
Yeah, no, I'm liking it better than last season,
A little bit.
But
definitely not as much as 6.
and
I'm liking it because of Madison.
See, the only reason I'm holding out hope is because I have had people that have obviously not given spoilers, but screeners that say, "Trust me, hold out. It's gonna be worth it." And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna trust you because I'm like, is this really worth my time to keep going with it? And they're like, and they're people that have no reason to be lying anymore. So I'm a trust them.
I do hope.
And
it
then if
gets
they're
better.
wrong, I'm gonna give them shit.
Yeah.
So
And you'll give
There's
them
no
shit
reason for them.
publicly on this stream,
shit, I'll invite them on. Why not?
and then they'll get blasted for 2 hours by all of us. How could you think this shit was good?
I mean, how they said that one of the episodes in this season is one of, if not their favorite episode in the entire Walking Dead universe. So that's some high praise from someone who I know to be fairly critical of the show and not hold punches. So
We
haven't gotten there yet. I mean, I'm
obviously.
pretty sure, based on just from what we can tell by episode names, I think it's going to be the King County episode. I might be wrong, but I feel like if it's going to be any episode, it would be that one. I don't know. Or maybe the finale. Who knows?
What's the next episode called for episode 4?
I don't know.
you
I'm
don't
pretty
know.
sure King County is 6.
King count.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's why I think you're right. I think about like the hallucination thing. or just the promos don't seem like they're exclusively for the next episode. They seem like they're
No.
just teasing the season.
You're wrong. King County's episode 4. I just looked it up.
Really?
Oh Lord.
Yeah. 4.
Then we might be
4
in
is
for a
King
treat.
County. Yeah, 5.
We might be praising the episode next week.
We might be turncoats next week. Let's see. Prove me wrong.
So 5
I
is
would
also
love to
called
see it.
More Time Than You Know, and then 6 is All I See Is Red. Now, you know,
That might
that
be
might-
it.
I think
Because
that might be it.
That might be
Morgan
that-
going berserk would probably be crazy.
But imagine him being coherent while he goes berserk.
Because we've not really seen too much of that.
Season
He's usually
6,
one-
he was tiptoeing it, but
I'm
like
excited for that one.
if we get a clear-headed season 8 assassin Morgan, like a combo of the two, no one that is even remotely associated with Padre is safe.
No.
So let's hold out hope, ladies and gentlemen.
I think we have probably blasted this episode enough, and we do have high hopes for next weekend or for next week. But I think we're at over an hour and a half. I think we're going to wrap this up.
God damn.
Tempest Fugit. All right, Ms. Kayla, tell people where they can find you.
You can find me on Twitch at Miss Kayla Gaming, and my YouTube is also linked on my Twitch, which my YouTube name is Miss Kayla. And like I said, I haven't been doing any gaming lately. I've been trying to actually upload some stuff to YouTube, but I haven't finished it yet. Like, I do my own version of editing. It's not like full-blown editing. It's like a cheap way of editing. But
Hey,
But
whatever it takes.
yes, I
You
actually
gotta start somewhere.
I use my phone to make intros and outros for my YouTube videos nowadays. So it's an
Hey,
easy,
I started my channel doing my reactions with my phone. So
yeah.
So
yeah.
did Mashan.
yeah,
Mhm.
I literally only use my phone.
And my
Yeah.
starter vlogs that I did back in the day were with my phone too.
I don't mind doing it that way. It's easy for me.
Oh, it's definitely
Yeah.
it's a lot less daunting to start that way than trying to just make a whole setup without having done anything before.
But yeah, I haven't been doing any gaming lately. I've been working like a dog. So probably on my day off, I might get back into it. So
Day off, singular. You only get one day off.
1 or 2 days off. I feel like I work every day now. Like it's exhausting.
Well,
Exhausting.
trust me, when you do a lot of YouTube and on your days off from your regular job, you're still working. You're just working.
But I
on
love
something else.
doing YouTube. So I love doing YouTube. I don't love my job.
Oh, I'm not saying it's bad, but I'm saying it's
I'm
it's
with
still
you
work.
there, Miss Kayla.
I do YouTube every day, so I
Yep.
work every day.
I wish
I do
could.
YouTube and TikTok every day, just about. If I'm
Mm-hmm.
not recording, I'm editing. If I'm not editing, I'm writing.
I try to
prepping.
do all 3 every day.
Yeah.
That's how
I
I'm
see.
able to keep. That's why you guys are like, how do you post as much content? I do it every day. Occasionally, I'll take breaks. Like I just took a week off. I still did like a teeny tiny bit of editing just in my downtime, but no recording, just editing a few things. But every day I pretty much work. So that's why when I take
Yeah.
my breaks, I like to take my breaks. Now people know I be feeding them.
Mhm.
All right, Jack. Again, tell them where they can find you.
I mean, Jack's World pretty much everywhere as of right now. I'm going to be checking out all of the Walking Dead spinoffs. Yes, Tomaj, even the Daryl one too. Don't worry. And I'm going to be trying to get my Stranger Things and House of the Dragon stuff up over time. They're long ass episodes, but we'll get there.
Tomaj, why don't you go from a different angle? Tell them what you don't react to. It might be a shorter list.
I don't react to anything with vampires. Not a big romance person.
Not sparkly vampires anyway.
Yeah, so that's about it, y'all. But everything else I do. So
Yeah, see?
Anime
I'll do
too?
it for y'all.
Shorter list.
I do Attack on Titan, and we've done a little
that's
bit of
really
Demon
nice.
Slayer. Yeah, so I got my hand in every pot, just about. We're doing more movie reactions, so we have Scream. We're doing the Scream movie series. So we got the first one on Patreon. We're going to be reacting to Equalizer and Training Day, and then Scream 2 within the next few weeks. What else? Did we start anything new?
You realize
what are you starting new this week?
Equalizer is
so I
actually based
watched-
on a series.
I watched Sons of Anarchy for the first time today. So I watched the first
Really?
episode, starting House of the Dragons tomorrow. So yeah, we got a lot to look forward to, y'all. I'm doing some new things. Doing some new things on top of the old. But yes, find me everywhere on Big Bro and Losis Reacts.
All right, and of course, I am the governor here on Fandom Spotlight, and I am not doing reactions to Fear, and pretty much I will do reactions to Dead City. I just time is a fire.
I know,
in
I
which we
understand.
burn. Because I was just at a con this past weekend, put up a panel today, got 2 more to go. Hopefully getting interviews this weekend. The following weekend I'll have panels. The weekend after that I'll have awesome panels from Awesome Con, including for you Doctor Who fans. We should have Christopher Eccleston and Jodie Whittaker and Billy Piper and Karen Gillan and the 13 Doctor's companion Medip. I don't recall her name offhand. But yeah, we'll have a bunch of stuff with that, more Lord of the Rings stuff. So I'm doing con stuff, people. But you can also check out Twilight Spotlight if you want to see me with 2 eyes looking at Transformers. So that blows Jack's mind every time. So yeah, check us all out. Subscribe, like, share, super chat, super thanks, whatever you want to do. Support your local YouTuber. And we will see you next week when we talk about, hopefully, a really good episode. Yes, called King County next week, so that should be interesting. But if it's all a delusion and it doesn't do anything to move forward the plot, then I'm going to probably scream. But we'll be back, and with more trivia, different prizes. And yeah, we'll see you next week. Governor and this amazing crew, we are out. Wave awkwardly, everybody.
Highly sedated, intoxicated. We're automated and overpopulated. We're all fish in a stream, swimming towards a vicious dream.